NUin Dublin has been by far the best trip of my life. Having wanted to travel to Ireland for most of my life and see the natural beauty and experience the eclectic pubs, the prospect of living there was too enticing. Coming from a small town in rural Rhode Island, Mom's cooking and Dad's organization, the prospect of moving across the ocean for 4 months and sustaining life on my own was daunting. While I am well-traveled, I have never lived on my own, and never spent more than a week in the city at any given time. As you can imagine, I was nervous for the experience, yet excitement was the greatest emotion. I packed my bags to the brim with waterproof clothing and necessities for my survival, with one suitcase pulling at the seams and a backpack with blue Converse strapped onto the sides. At the airport, I left my family and boarded an airplane to Dublin. Landing in overcast weather, I knew the comments I read online about constant rain were true. While the weather was initially jolting, it became something I learned to appreciate. A bus picked us up and shuttled us to our new homes. Having been nervous about the people on the trip with me, I quickly came to realize that I was in luck. Starting on the ride to the apartments and into the initial weeks I spent in Dublin, I made great friends, who I went on to spend some of the greatest experiences of my life with. The initial days and weeks in Dublin were very memorable. I unpacked my bags over the course of the first week and came to realize, with the exception of the first day when we toured the city in the pouring rain, that the weather was very manageable and the temperature often perfect. While we were eased into our new lives, the greatest initial difficulties I encountered regarded cooking and learning how to use the hot water heater. I cannot convey how many times pesto pasta was made over the course of my initial weeks in Dublin, and how many times I tried to unlock the secrets of the water heater with no success. The first days were literally spent cooking, working the water heater, and exploring the city. My experience of Dublin, DBS, and the trips taken throughout the semester were truly some of the best I have had. The city at first shocked me a little, from almost getting run over by the Lewis to finding my way home at night, to getting used to the hustle and bustle of city life. But with some help from my friends, my iPhone maps, and a newly acquired city sense, I came to love the charm of Dublin and the city life. Over the course of the semester, I took several trips around Ireland and one to Italy with 6 of my friends. On these trips, I traveled to famous and acclaimed places like the Cliffs of Moher and the Cliffs of Howth, where I saw some of the most spectacular views of my life and really felt immersed in nature. We went to Sligo, where we climbed to ancient cairns, which are rock piles with hollow insides meant for living and burial, seeing some spectacular views of the Irish countryside. I participated in the Northeastern Design Service Learning Program during my time in Dublin, visiting a community centre in the district of Ballyboe, Dublin. There I worked with Irish children, many from troubled and low-income families, with their everyday homework, and also teach them how to fix their bikes when I had free time. The experience was eye-opening for me, and definitely taught me a lot about how privileged I truly am. A great challenge for me in the service learning site was gaining the trust of the kids. Many times they came from hurting homes where they were left to their own devices to get by without guidance or a firm support system. This, on top of their rowdy natures, made it difficult for me to gain their respect. But after they came to appreciate me, I had some truly wonderful experiences with them. There is no denying that I have grown from this experience. From becoming more responsible, to learning how to live on my own, to becoming more cultured and well-rounded. While there were tough points, together, all my experiences on this trip formed the best 4 months of my life. I know that throughout my life I'll always be thinking of the time I spent here. The lessons learned will help me in the near and distant future. Now I am looking forward to seeing my family and entering my new college environment, but the last 4 months of my life will be ingrained in my memory forever.